अष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवे भगवते उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. Today we are reviewing chapter 2 of fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. The title of the chapter is Daksha Curses Lord Shiva. And this chapter specifically emphasizes on the differences that sometimes creep into a person's character, whereby person starts to discriminate against one's own relatives and close friends. So this is one chapter where somebody gets puffed up by all the adulation given to one person, to him, and in that adulation forgets that what is important and what is not important. So in this chapter,
Hare Krishna, we don't see
what, Prabhu?
Prabhu, we are not seeing Prabhuji, we are hearing.
That why was Daksha, who was so affectionate towards his daughter, envious of Lord Shiva, who is the best among the gentle? Why did he neglect his daughter Sati? Sometimes we see in our daily life, also in our course of our life also, that there is some kind of animosity that develops between two families, family of the daughter and family of the groom, or the family of the daughter versus the groom. Sometimes they feel like, he is not worthy of my daughter and things like that. And this is one such instance here. Daksha is given the elite position by Brahma, his father, that of a Prajapati, to increase the population on the created planets. And Lord Shiva is also his brother, but he is an exalted personality, equal, or you can say that slightly different from Lord Vishnu. In that regard, even though he appeared through Lord Brahma, but he was actually a transformation for the purpose of guiding the ignorant people, ignorant masses within this universe, so that they can gradually be elevated. And as such, he had followers who are in the mode of ignorance. They are eating flesh or drink alcohol and conduct activities, which are in the mode of ignorance. However, to assume that Lord Shiva is in the mode of ignorance is a gross misjudgment on anybody's part, because he is as good as Lord Vishnu, except that just like we understand that milk that has been transformed into yogurt, in touch with something or a culture, or in touch with tamarind, as Prabhupada mentions, and can it be converted back to milk? No. So that way he cannot be transformed back into Lord Vishnu. However, he has all the qualities of Lord Vishnu. Just like if you see in the milk, there is ghee or butter hidden in the milk, but also in the yogurt, you see that the same elements are also hidden. you churn both and you get butter as well as ghee. By processing butter further, you get clarified butter or ghee. So we have to take a stance about Lord Shiva in such a way that we do not end up committing a aparadh against him, because he is also a topmost Vaishnava. He is always meditating on Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu all the time, or Lord Ram all the time. But he is also taking care of the jivas, or including lower statuses of human beings who are not developed intellectually, and guiding them, including the animals, and that's why he's also called Pashupatinath. So he's guiding them towards their natural course of evolution, so that they can be brought to that understanding where they will come out of that mode of ignorance and elevate themselves further. Mode of passion, mixed mode of ignorance and passion, mixed mode of passion and goodness, finally to goodness, and finally to Shuddha goodness. So they can also be liberated. That the whole circle can be viewed in such a way that every living entity that is there can come through the natural process of evolution, spiritual evolution, in such a way so that they can all go back home, back to Godhead, and not suffer in this material world. However, we know from example of Indra having been cursed by his guru to take birth as a pig in this material world, and he was happy that he didn't want to go back. Even after the duration of the curse was over, he said, "I'm happy, I don't want to go back." So the position is like that a person or a living entity becomes comfortable in whatever circumstances he or she or anybody is put into. We become comfortable and we think like, okay, I'm okay now, I don't have to think about going back. Okay, because we are under the spell of the material modes of nature. So, and there is nothing beyond that we can do. But we can do if we are connected with, or if we get somehow or the other the mercy of the Supreme Lord, who sends across a personality in the form of a guru, or a personality in the form of a sadhu, or if we educate ourselves enough and we come across literatures, shastras, then we can elevate ourselves, and then we can seek out that personality who is called guru. Even the ones Krishna himself, or like the personalities that descend as avatars, also show by their own example, by accepting a guru and thereby teaching others that the best way for us to elevate is by accepting a guru. Here in this chapter, we understand that Maitri is telling Vidura that Lord Shiva went to the arena where a big sacrifice was going to happen, which was going to be presided over by Daksha, Brahma, and others. However, his only fault was that he did not give due respect to Daksha when he entered the arena. That angered Daksha, even though he was carrying a grudge against Lord Shiva right from the moment he married his daughter, Ati. But here he got a chance to blaspheme Lord Shiva. And he says that even though Lord Shiva hears everything, but he does not speak a word. But at the end of this chapter, he quietly gets up and leaves the arena. So the yajna continues there in the absence of Daksha as well as in the absence of Lord Shiva, as we did in the last verse of the chapter. Because the yajna is meant to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Daksha may be in the mode of passion, or Lord Brahma may be in the mode of passion, and Lord Shiva is, in charge of mode of ignorance, and they are still considered demigods. However, the yajna is meant to please the Supreme Personality, as Prabhupada mentioned in the purport. So, up to Lord Shiva, even in their absence, the yajnas have to go on because they are meant to please Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari. So that's why we see in this, the beginning, Daksha is cursing Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva's follower Nandishwara cursing the Brahmanas and other people who tolerated the cursing, by Daksha towards Lord Shiva. And then after Nandishwara curses all the assembled people there, including the Brahmanas, then the topmost leader there, another son of Lord Brahma, Bhrigumani, also gets up, and he also starts cursing Lord Shiva's followers, that anybody who is worshipping Lord Shiva will be considered as an atheist. So this cursing and counter cursing goes on, and Prabhupada also mentions in everywhere, those who worship the demigods are also considered atheists. Anybody who does not worship Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna, they are considered atheists. So even in today's life, here we feel that this kind of situations do exist, particularly about between the followers of Lord Shiva and the Lord Vishnu Vaishnavas and the Shivites. In South India, we see that there is sometimes tempers flare up and they fight with each other also about these matters. And besides that, we also see fights develop between Hindus and Muslims. So we as followers of Sanatana Dharma, we should understand that these things are the development of ignorance, in one sense, that people, instead of focusing on their own upliftment, elevation through the gradual process, and come to understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto whom we have to surrender, if they get that idea that no, Lord Shiva is the Supreme Personality, then Lord Shiva is the one who is going to do something for them to bring them to the platform where they will be able to understand that, no, I am the one who worships Lord Vishnu. So ultimately, I cannot grant you liberation, or I cannot grant you mukti or bhakti or anything like that. I can grant you opulences, but I cannot grant these things. Finally, you will have to, the followers of such Shivites or something, they have to come to that understanding that they will continue to exist within this material world. Even though they may exist as a human being, but they will continue birth after birth until they come to the fold of the lotus feet of the Sri Hari or Sri Krishna. And that is where, these things will lead on. Even though this thing happened in that time, the yajna was, as it mentioned during the course of the chapter, the yajna went on for several thousand years, celestial years. And then we will see in the following chapters how Daksha organizes another yajna, whereby, Lord Shiva and Lord Shiva's family, like including Sati, is not invited also. So his enmity towards Lord Shiva continues. So with this, I would like to conclude that we, as the followers of Sanatan Dharma, or the followers like so-called